I want to get this done so that I can wash my floors this weekend. All right, so here's my wandering Jude. Let's just get him. This soil is so nice and soft. Get that right down in there and pop you in there like that. And these are going to go, hopefully, my whole window, it only gets a little bit of sun at sunset, but it has its own plant light. Because the plant light has one of the arms broken on it, and it'll only work in my office because I've lost the plug thing that the USB goes into, and it won't do on a normal USB. And here's my wandering Jude. And I told you I had 2 L brackets with a curtain rod taped to them. And now I have 3 nice plants in my office. They don't get a lot of sun. That's why they have a light during the day. Now, when we were in Home Depot, I couldn't help myself because I didn't start these. I didn't start these. This is rosemary and this is basil. Now, what I want to show you is, look how many, I saw this on a video the other day. This looks lovely, but if you just kept this and watered it, you wouldn't have a good basil plant because this is a lot of basil plants in one. So I'm going to put them in a bigger pot. This is why it looks nice, but it won't go nice. So I'm going to very, very carefully, holy smokes, cut open like that and then just peel it back. Tease these apart a little bit. Maybe I can get some. Oh, poor babies. Oh, the poor babies. In a minute, Gracie's going to want to come in. Look at this. This is what you get for putting a bunch of seeds in a hole and not spread. Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry to baby. All right. So their roots are relatively small. So I'm just going to start putting them in here like this. We'll put 5 or 6 in each pot. And that way they're separate basil plants. When I go to put them out, I can put them in different parts of my garden. And honestly, folks, I should be watering the roots before closing the hole. You don't want the roots to be dry at all. Okay, so there's my basil plants. And I have about 12 or 13 of those. This is not too bad, but I still would like it in a bigger pot. 1. See, they plant them like that to make them look really bushy, but they're just a bunch of plants strangling together. 2, 3. There's 4 rosemary plants there. I'm going to do a little bit more companion planting research and see if maybe these shouldn't be in their own bed, but in beds with other things like, tomatoes but some things don't like it. This is quite a big difference between this, right? Now, I know this is not seed starting mix. This is potting mix. But, needs must as the devil drives. This says there's oregano in here, but I can't feel anything. Oh, they're so tiny. That's right. And I'm going to use those 2 big green water bottle planters. I'm going to use some of them for my herb. I'm going to use them for some of my herbs too. Oregano. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let's water the soil first and then they'll stick better, right? And then they won't get washed away when I am. These are like smaller than sand. There is oregano. I still have some in my pantry hanging from last year, and it still smells really good because then they don't get wrecked. Here we go. Put them all to bed. Parsley. Oh, that's a lot of parsley. I just want the fruit trees, so I'm starting my seeds now, but I want as much berry bushed and fruit trees as I can afford. I hear you. I got 2 apricot trees coming. And I'd like to do raspberries, or not raspberries, thornless blackberries. And here is sage. It comes back every year if you look after it, but we'll see. And sage. I should really tuck that down in there when there's... Okay, I got to put these aside somewhere. And then we're going to start, I'm going to bring over tomatoes. I know. See, I have already been pinching back some of the bigger leaves. I should do that with scissors so it's less traumatic for the plant. And it's not really transplanting. See, this says Quebec 5. If it doesn't say Quebec 5 or doesn't say Manitoba, then it's a Manitoba. I'm just going to pinch you off right there. Right down in. I like to give them some fresh soil because the Organic Pro Mix has, you know, biological food in it that will feed your plants for up to 3 months. Now, I know people think I start things way too early, and I do, but that's how I get them to nursery size. By the time, get down there, hang on. By the time they're ready to go out. They were started in the seed starting soil. And they're just really spindly. So what I want to do is see if I can't... Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Look at the roots. I want to put some fresh potting soil under these roots to lift them up and give them more growth space. Let's see if I can't just flip that back over. And anything that isn't anything, yeah, you don't mess with onions and stuff, but these were getting really, really spindly, and they were only on the seed starting soil. They weren't. So I'm just going to sift some soil down over these. Did I miss anybody? Yes, I did. Let's put you over here. Let's get some more soil in here. And then just comb the hairs up. I just, over my Spanish onions, I just sifted soil. Am I missing? No, there we are. Babies. Just to give these guys a little more nutrients. Oops. Trying to make sure there's no roots showing. And these can go back. This will give them some more nutrients and more soil because they were pretty shallow. Well, folks, as soon as my live ended, my power went out. I plugged my lights into my All Powers power station that is charged up, and nobody has to wait for the power to come back on, except me. Okay, these have just been watered, so they've fallen down, but there's a reason I have fans on my table. It's to strengthen the stems so that when they go outside, it's not a big of a shock. But here it is. And for the first couple of days after you have repotted your tomatoes, keep them really, really well watered because you want to encourage root growth on those stems. Okay, right? So it's the next day and everybody is looking so much perkier. Oop. Except you shouldn't have the light stuck right down. Just remember, if you're doing this to your tomato plants, then you really need to keep the soil moist until they develop their roots. But everybody looks so much happier. And I brought my wandering jute out here so that it gets some more direct sunlight until it gets a little bit bigger. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, remember, when you transplant them, water, 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 especially if you're encouraging root growth. Take care. God bless. Mwah! My hands are dirty. I got to go clean up.